This week, I decided to dedicate a whole week to one of my favorite authors, Emily Henry. I already adore her writing, but I've never read all of her books back to back. So I thought, why not spend a week fully immersed in her world, revisiting the ones I love and finally reading the one I haven't yet. By the end of this week, I'll be ranking all of them and figuring out which Emily Henry book is truly the best of the best. Hi Goose, what is up, brother? Where's your treat? Pardon, real quick. Hey, leave it alone. I finished Beach Read. This was the first book I ever read by Emily Henry. It's been a really long time since I've read this one. Rereading it, I was like, honestly, I don't remember this one that well. It's funny because I knew they were two authors and they swapped genres and they were kind of like in a competition with each other, but I completely forgot about the other plot that's happening with our main girl character, January. Her dad has passed away and she kind of finds out that her dad had like this kind of secret life with a mistress. She stays in like his old beach house that he used to share with his mistress, but there's just a lot of like emotions she feels because she was super close with her dad, but like obviously she didn't know about the secret life that he had. And then also Gus, our main guy character, really goes through a lot too. This is like the first book I really read where it was like enemies to lovers, or they were kind of more like academic rivals to lovers. I don't know, this book just brought me back a little bit. It was really fun. I had a good time reading it. The way Gus and January just like banter with each other is so good. It's so funny. January is very like witty, I guess. She can fire back what Gus throws her and vice versa. I feel like the way they speak to each other is just so funny. Like they just banter very well with each other. They go on little dates because she's a romance author and they're doing romance research. There's just so many things I feel like happening in this book that I completely forgot that they happened, because honestly a lot does happen in this book. If you read her little reader's note at the end, she talks about how she essentially wrote this book because she was feeling writer's block and she was feeling burnt out with like the books she had been doing previously, and this one really kind of just helped inspire her about writer's block. I feel like this could be like a classic rom-com one day. It is just so fun and it is such a breath of fresh air whenever you read so many romance books. Coming back to this one, I feel like it's like, yeah, I get it. I get why this one is popular. It is just so much fun. Now, is it my favorite Emily Henry book? I don't know, but it's truly like up there. But this is like a really good contender so far. Obviously, this one's in the top spot because this is the only one I've read so far. But for now, we'll see where we go next with people we meet on vacation. While we talk about people we meet on vacation. I am 53% of the way through. I remember when I first read this book, I loved it instantly. Just connected to the story very fast, and I loved it the first time going around. Now this time, I'm still feeling that. I didn't know if I was gonna catch this by surprise. I loved the story. I love Poppy and I love Alex. I love their dynamic together. Them being besties, going on all these vacations together. Like, hey, my dream date. I love their banter. They're so like witty with each other, but they're also obviously they're best friends. So it's like they're just cute together. They're fun together. I swear this is like what made me get like really hooked into Emily Henry was this book, because their banter is unmatched in my opinion. It's so good. Also, Netflix just released the trailer for this book and I love it. Although I will have to say, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, the girl that plays Poppy is like not who I imagined. One, I imagined her shorter and then a redhead. I don't know why, because I think in the book too, she doesn't say that she's a redhead, but in my head, she's a short redhead. I think it's gonna be a good movie. I'm really excited. I'm gonna keep listening to the audiobook and I'm gonna try and finish my whatever I'm trying to do at this point. finished People We Meet on Vacation. I'm still here. Let's talk about it. Oh my gosh. The banter is just unmatched in this book. There's something about it that gets me every time, and I think that's why I love this book so much, is because the way Poppy and Alex just like are playful and how they communicate in general with each other. I just love it. There's like a bit of miscommunication that happens in this book, but I feel like it's pretty normal communication, especially like if you are in love with your best friend. You're probably not going to be very forthright with saying that because you don't want to ruin your relationship with them. You don't want to make it awkward or weird, especially if you guys are best friends. I mean, I wouldn't. I've definitely had crushes on friends and I never said anything because I didn't want to make it weird, because I didn't want to stop being friends. I really relate to that, and like I get it. I also just love the little flashback scenes we get of them and like their previous adventures. It's so fun. It feels like you're like on vacation with them. Now that we have that one done, let's go to the next book. Almost 50% of the way through Book Lovers. This book is really reminding me like a lot of Beach Read. The premises aren't necessarily similar, but the character relations are kind of similar. Some of the plot's a little similar. For instance, they kind of come up with a deal where if Nora checks off her entire summer to-do list, then she wins Charlie's apartment. Yeah, I just feel like that, like the little bet situation is very similar in this one and in Beach Read, like where they have to like swap genres or whatever. The characters, the way they banter with each other to be very similar. Like they're both like very like sarcastic and silly with each other, which I love. I do really love. I think Nora is definitely one of my favorite female characters from her books so far. I just love her. I think she's so funny. I think she's so unapologetically herself, and I love the way she's like, I don't need no man to live a fulfilling life. Like, yes, queen. I love the sibling dynamic in this too. I know when it first came out, people were like, oh, this is for older sisters. And maybe because I am an older sister, I kind of just like get this one a little bit more. But I really do love like that part of it. It just makes it so much more like real, I guess. I'm really, really liking it. Talking about Happy Place because I finished it. Afterwards, when I was trying to remember what happened in this book, I couldn't recall almost anything that happened with these characters. I remembered a couple like here and there bits, but genuinely, this is a book I literally was like, I don't remember what happens in this. I said in my last previous Goodreads review, I'm basically Harriet and I like really deeply related to her. And maybe at the time I like really related to her. Current me now, 2 years later, or whenever I read this, current me now, I definitely do not relate to Harriet anymore. I think one, just because like she is such a people pleaser. I do get that, like being a people pleaser and trying to keep your friend group together. She tries to be kind of like the glue in their friendship. I kind of like understand like that part, like making sure people are getting along, nobody's fighting, but I don't think I relate to it anymore, I guess. I do like Harriet as a character. I also really like Win as a character. I feel like they both deeply love each other. They have such different lives now, and it's kind of like, well, do I give up this or do you give up this? Do we try to make it work doing this? Like, this book definitely feels more different than the other three because this one's like adult. Like, this one is giving like, we have adult problems. How are we going to fix these problems? Even if we had miscommunicated, even if we had these other circumstances, we have adult problems. How do we fix them and still be together? Even more than just the romance of like trying to figure that out, this one really goes into deeper with like adult friendships, having these friendships from like college to now they're adults, kind of how that progresses. And it does get harder because people are getting married, people are having kids, people have their own jobs and their own lives, and it does get harder. And I think that I really love in this, that explanation of friends and friendship, because it does get to that. Like, you can't stay in that time of your life forever because eventually you'll move on and do other things. I really love The Friends, but I feel like this one, for whatever reason, is the epitome of summer in a book. If I had to give it the award, this is the most summery book in my opinion so far. I feel like their romance so far has not been my favorite, only because, like I said, the flashbacks are there, they're fine and whatever, but they're very choppy. Like, it's more about like the friends, right? Whenever they do fall in love and she like meets his parents and like all these things, I just don't really connect to it, I guess. And maybe that's why now looking back, I don't know if this one's my favorite. This book, down. On to the next. Funny story. I am about 18% of the way through this one. Now, oh, he's scaring me. I predicted, no, is it predictions if I kind of know what my tier ranking is? I think this one is going to still continue to be my favorite out of her books. And here are some reasons why. I love Miles. He's technically one of my, if not my favorite, Emily Henry character in general. I am so excited to be back. This story is just so interesting in general to me because how these two main characters kind of know each other is because their ex-partners got together. She lives with him in his apartment because she's getting kicked out of her old house by her ex-fiance. Their ex-partners are getting married, so they get invited to their wedding. They're like, them, we should go. Don't play with that toy right now. Don't play with this toy right now. First sentence unlocked. There's an old saying about stories and how there are always three versions of them. Yours, mine, and the truth. Low-key ominous. Let's talk about Great Big Beautiful Life. I am on page 110. I was really excited about this because this story is about two authors who are competing to write the story of this like really famous lady. It's very similar to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, or it's been kind of critiqued that it's very similar to that vibe. What we get is we get our main character, Alice. She is a journalist. She's just very energetic, very upbeat. The other author, Hayden, is a little bit more stoic, he's a little ruthless in this because he really wants to write this lady's memoir. He's pretty competitive to Alice kind of from the get. She's like, I don't care. An opportunity of a lifetime just to sit down and like meet this lady. I don't even, like, she wants the job, but she's like, I'm just happy to be here. One, they have already kissed. What? It felt a little all of a sudden like they're building up this kind of friendship between them, and then all of a sudden they're making out and he's like, wait, we can't be kissing, you're my competition. Okay, that was a little strong. So far, don't love the way Margaret's story is being told. It is almost like I am reading a history book of somebody that's not real. I can tell that Margaret is supposed to be based off of like a Paris Hilton. This one feels so different from her other books because it doesn't feel like an Emily Henry book to me. Out of all of them, this one feels the least like her. Like, her voice as an author is just, it doesn't feel like I'm reading an Emily Henry book. I think she's the best at writing banter. There's been moments I've been like, oh, that's kind of cute, but I haven't been like, oh my god, I'm so obsessed with them. They're not even really friends. You have them making out in the next scene and then they're like cold to each other. And I get it, I think this one she was trying to do something different. Hey, so my camera died. I'm too lazy to go upstairs to grab a new battery. So I'm just gonna continue my thoughts right here. So far, I'm just kind of like, I feel nothing almost. I feel so disconnected from them too, which is so weird because I like Alice, our main character. She reminds me a lot of Poppy from People We Meet on Vacation. Kind of like, I feel like I'm just kind of reading the same characters, but more dull almost. I don't know. I'm not hating it, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely not hating it. I'm liking it. I'm just not loving it. I am almost 50% of the way through Great Big Beautiful Life. What we talked about earlier, I kind of still feel that way. I feel that this doesn't feel like an Emily Henry book. The banter is not bantering for me, at least. I feel like these characters feel almost a little awkward together. And even my least favorite book from her, the banter is still phenomenal. And I feel like in this one, it's just not. It's like, okay. I still will give her some flowers. This is still like really fast paced. And I am like, even if I'm not like super into it, I'm still like wanting to read it, wanting to know what's going on. It's not that I'm hating this book. It's just not giving what I feel like it should be. And maybe that's the expectations I have. She's one of my favorite authors though. You kind of get that little bit of an expectation when you read a new book from your favorite author, that it's something that you always love. And maybe that's like me putting pressure on this author. And like I said, it's not bad. It is just not exactly what I thought. Big Beautiful Life. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. Is it my favorite? No. I think this one had more twists and turns in it than probably her other books. Like, you're kind of unveiling some things about Margaret's story and kind of how they intertwine with other things that are happening. The romance is just not my favorite. It's not that it's bad, it is just not my favorite. It's very insta-y almost. I feel like it was fast paced for what it was, for me at least. I think Margaret's story, I guess it's a little all over the place. I feel like she's not telling them the full story, but when she is telling the story to them, or how it's being written, it is kind of jumbled and all over the place. This little bit happens, and then like immediately after this little bit happens, and then we find out this little bit happens. It's just a lot, and a lot of unnecessary things. Even from like the beginning when they're going into her great grandfather's life, and she's like, it's about this story, that's why I have to tell you it. And I'm like, is it though? I feel like this book was rushed, and I don't know if that was because of publishing and like she just needed to get another book out, or if it's truly she wanted to try something different and it just didn't land with me. I don't know. Since that is the last book, let's go wrap it up and tier rank the best to the worst. Let's give some updated ratings on all the Emily Henry books, and let's tier rank all of them now that I have reread them / read her newest book, Beach Read. I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. I think I kept the rating the same. I think I gave it 4 stars originally, and I still think this is a 4-star read for me. I still love this book. It's one of those books where it does like catch you into her writing, and I get why a lot of people love this book. And I'm just gonna throw this right here. People We Meet on Vacation. I know a lot of people don't love this one as much as the other ones. I don't care. I love this book so much. I ended up keeping it at a 5 stars. There's just something about their banter that is like the best. I don't know. I'm gonna have to put this above Beach Read. Book lovers, I ended up giving this 4.5 stars. I bumped the rating up. This one, for whatever reason, really got me again, rereading it. I think maybe the sibling aspect really spoke to me. Their banter and the couple, like the relationship, was just so much better rereading it. She's still not over People We Meet on Vacation, but I do love her more than Beach Read. Happy Place, I ended up giving this one a 3.75. I love the friendship and I love the plot to this, but the romance is definitely probably my least favorite, or one of my least favorites out of all of her books. I do love all the other aspects that is talked in this. I just don't love the romance bit. I'm gonna put her underneath Beach Read. Funny story, I'm giving it 5 stars, maybe 6 stars. I love this book so much. There's something about this one that makes me giddy and happy. I feel like everything is perfect. The relationship, the main characters, the plot development, every little thing in this book I love. She may be the top. I feel like this is a very controversial rating so far. whatever. Great Big Beautiful Life. I ended up giving this 3 stars. Unfortunately, I feel like this is the storyline I least connected to. What's weird about this one is I feel like they're very insta-y almost. I never felt any tension or yearning, anything that she does so good in with her other books. The plot is okay. Getting Margaret's story, I'm kind of like, I feel kind of indifferent by her story. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Unfortunately, she goes right here towards the bottom. This is my completed tier list ranking, tier rank, whatever. This is just my personal opinion, obviously. This is what I love. This is my truth. And I'm so brave. You're so welcome. I made some categories and I thought it would be fun to give you the best of the best, if you will. First one is the best banter. Personally, I feel like People We Meet on Vacation has the best banter. I feel like it's really witty. I think it's really silly. I think it's funny. And I think because they're best friends, they have best friend humor. Rereading this one specifically, I'm just like, wow, these characters just are so witty together and they're so funny, and I just love the way they talk with each other. Best plot line, I feel like goes to Funny Story. I really love the concept of like 2 couples, their exes date each other, and these 2 now have to kind of fend for themselves. Their whole lives are rearranged. I don't know why. I think that plot line is so interesting and I really like it. Funny Story has my favorite plot line. Best character development. I think Harriet from Happy Place has the best character development in the sense that she is having all these people kind of come up to her and she's starting to realize more things about herself and her friendships. I think she actualizes a lot of stuff about how she is as a friend and how she is as a partner, how she is as a person, and her kind of like, you know what, am I living my life for me or am I living my life for others? Favorite female main character, I'm gonna give it to Nora from Book Lovers. There's something about Nora I love. I think she is such a boss ass bitch. I think she also is very sensitive because of her family. She just deeply cares about her family. She deeply loves her family and does anything for them. I love that she is so unabashedly herself. Favorite male main character, I don't know if you guessed this one. Miles from Funny Story. I don't know if that was evident. He's my favorite, probably MMC in like a lot of books I've read. He's truly so sweet, so kind, so funny. Does so many things for Daphne too at the end of the day. He's the most realistic out of all of her main characters. Okay, I love him. The last one I had was my favorite couple. Also, Daphne and Miles from Funny Story. Hey, I can't help it. They're just my favorite. I love this book. Like I said, I don't see anything wrong with it, so it's hard not to just say this is my favorite. Out of everything, like, she's my favorite. I can't help it. They're my favorite couple. They're so cute. I do love all of these books. They are really fun. If you want to get into Emily Henry, you really can't go wrong with any of them. Comment down below, what's your favorite Emily Henry book? Or you can even rank them in the comments. I would love to see that too. I'm curious how my opinion is versus some of y'all's. I feel like I have kind of an unpopular opinion, but thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!